Today we're going to be breaking down the best champions to main at every rank in every role to help you guys climb before the final split of season 2025 comes to a close. We'll break it down into Master and above, Diamond, Emerald, Platinum, Gold, and then Silver and Bronze together. And no, we won't be including Iron, because if you're still stuck there after 2000 games, you don't really need this video, you need professional help. 2026 is just around the corner, and before you know it, you'll be smashing down some pigs in blankets and Christmas turkey and opening Riot Points gift cards and maybe a few packs of Riftbound if you're lucky. But you've still got time to climb to a new peak and brag about it to your deaf grandmother while she drinks her Christmas brandy. So let's start off with the top lane first then, and we'll start from the bottom and work our way up. First up, we have Garen with a 52.7% win rate in Silver and 51.6% in Bronze. Now, I probably don't have to do too much explaining as to why Garen is a solid top lane pick to main in low elo. Because to be honest, I think if you handed a 3-year-old a mouse and keyboard and said, go spin, press R, they might actually do a decent job. That being said, Garen has a lot to offer. Easy all-in potential, crazy lane sustain as overstaying in this elo is a given, and of course carry potential too. Because if you do get ahead on Garen when you inevitably get ganked from over pushing, you're probably going to come out on top anyway. If you're a gold top lane main, then you need to start playing Sett. This muscly Mahusive mammoth is a bit of a beast right now, and his ability to 1v2 ganks, dive, counter dives, and just bulldoze his way through teamfights make him a real problem for so many different matchups and comps. And the best part is, when you outplay your enemy, you can then do a bunch of sit-ups, because if you're playing League, you're probably not doing them IRL. In Platinum, it's The Rock with a 53.5% win rate. And yes, that is very high, but when you think about it, it just makes sense. Everybody in Platinum thinks they are the bee's knees, the next big thing, with so many Riven and Yasuo one-trick wannabes with huge egos flying around all over the place. So, pick Malphite and remove their ability to play the game. Simple. Our Emerald pick is Kayle with a 52.9% win rate, and here is when those egos go up a notch even further, and truly is the land of the throws. Emerald is probably one of the most dense ranks in the game, with a huge variety of skill discrepancies and throws happening in almost every single game, which is part of the reason why Kayle is such a good pick here, because if games get to a certain point, she turns into a machine gunning pentakill farming ascending queen of LP. So lock her in, don't int early game, relax, chill, get some farm, focus on XP, and wait for your inevitable moment to bring home the win. Into Diamond now, and to be honest, there is a lot of choice here, but we've gone for Darius, as Diamond players are fairly easy to tilt, and who better to tilt other top laners than this delicious dunking daddy. Darius has the ability to completely dominate in some matchups and can feel unstoppable once he gets a lead. Plus, he's one of those picks that autofill top laners absolutely hate to play against, and often end up 0-5 by the 10-minute mark, simply because they don't actually understand how to exist in the same lane as him. Then finally we have Master Tier Plus, and it just has to be Fiora with a 55.2% win rate. Fiora is the ultimate split-pushing, side-laning, dueling pick that can completely take over a game once she has a lead, and higher-ranking players know how to push her limits to constantly defy the odds and take multiple enemies down at once, along with every single tower in the game whilst wasting the entire enemy team's time. So yeah, if you know how to play her and understand those side lane minigames, she can be pretty hard to beat. Into the jungle next then, and starting off with Bronze and Silver, we've got Briar, the champion whose whole personality is get fed or die trying. With a 54% win rate in Silver and a 53.2% win rate in Bronze, she's proving to be one of the best picks to go for here. So aside from her natural ability to int, she's actually fairly easy to play, and it's pretty much all or nothing. And with her ability to just send it and stat check most other junglers, this plays into her favour most of the time at these lower ranks. She clears the jungle fast and easily, she does well in chaotic and extended fights, and low elo players just haven't really got a clue how to play against her. Then for Gold, it's going to have to be Amumu with a 53.4% win rate here. Now Gold is the land of accidental ARAMs and constant team fighting as soon as one tower goes down. That's just how it is there. So who better to play than one of the easiest champions you can go for with a game-winning ultimate? It really is as simple as that, guys. His clear is a piece of cake, and despite Amumu not having any friends, you'll be getting plenty of requests after carrying with 7 5-man ultimates in a row. Our platinum pick in the jungle is going to be Jax with a 52.8% win rate. And similar to Malphite we mentioned earlier, there's a ton of wannabe one-trick picks in and around this elo, so Jax is the perfect pick to shut them down. He doesn't really lose many early 1v1s and is always useful with his AoE stun and DPS. He takes down camps without too much trouble, has easy ganks, kills objectives and scales really hard later on. So basically just ticks every box you need. For Emerald, Warwick is the one to go for here with a 53.8% win rate. Emerald is a place where respect just doesn't exist, and if you don't respect Warwick, you're instantly going to regret it. He'll zoom around the map and hunt you down, win fights you wouldn't think he's going to be able to win, he melts through objectives, and he's just a bit of a problem once he gets fed because before you know it, he's dashing across your entire screen with a huge ranged ultimate, locking you down and making you regret queuing up. So if you're an Emerald jungler and you haven't tried him recently, here's a reminder to give him a go. Now for Diamond, we've got a bit of a wildcard pick because his popularity might not be that high, but his stats are undeniable, with a 53.9% win rate across all regions. It's Ivern. So many players don't give Ivern a chance because he's not a traditional jungler, and a lot of people straight up refuse to play him because they probably don't actually understand how he works. But trust me, you need to give him a try. He's an amazing addition to any team comp, and his utility and unique playstyle brings so much to the table. So waltz around the map, humming and singing as you pop by a lane, get some free kills, and cruise around doing your thing and farm an easy LP. Finally, for Master and Beyond, Nidalee is just the best jungler to pick right now with a 56% win rate in high elo. Nidalee has always had a reputation for being a bit of a problem in the right hands, and this is even more true than ever, with her stats matching her stature. From max range spears making you let out a suspicious gasp IRL to big clutch pounces and skirmishing and snowballing, and 25 stacked Magi shining through in the reflection of your bloodshot eyeballs. Nidalee is a lot of fun, and if you've got what it takes, there's not many better. Into the mid lane next then, and first up we have Malzahar with a 52% win rate in bronze and 52.4% in silver. Malzahar is the perfect champion to play here as it feels like the game just plays itself for you. Move around a bit, use some spells, watch the minions evaporate in front of you and just permanently have lane priority, so you can wander if you need to and lock someone up with your ultimate. He definitely does fall off the higher rank you go, but there's no argument that he's not a top choice at lower ranks. Into gold next then, and here we have Veigar with a 52.6% win rate, and his cage alone is probably enough to have him here as every enemy player will walk into it every single time. It can easily win you games on its own by locking up teams in choke points, setting up ganks or outplaying dives, and then you factor in how hard this dude scales and his 200 years point and click one shot bye bye button in his ultimate. For Platinum, we've got Diana with a 52.8% win rate, and all it takes for you here is to learn your damage limits really, because she can just dash in and deal a ton of damage a few times before doing it again and taking the enemy mid laner out. Then you have her ability to carry harder outside of the lane phase as she dashes into grouped up teams, pops her ultimate, and probably wins most fights in just a few clicks. For Emerald, it's time to get that frozen chicken out of the freezer like your mum told you to 5 hours ago, but you've been playing League all day and you forgot your mum existed.
I'm in danger!
Anivia is a fantastic mid lane pick to play in Emerald with a 52.5% win rate. She's got lane control, wave clear, utility, CC, scaling, and some underrated burst damage too, and she can be one of the most frustrating enemies to play against if you do get good enough with her. For Diamond, it's going to be Vex, who has a whopping 54.4% win rate across all regions. Now, with a ton of highly mobile menaces running around the mid lane in Diamond, why not play someone who can just abuse them like Vex can? Not only can she survive or shut these mobility matchups down, but she can snowball games super hard by roaming around with her ultimate and resetting her way through teams. Finally, for Master Tier and above, we have Syndra, arguably the most consistent mage to play in the mid lane into all sorts of comps and matchups, and with a 53.5% win rate in Master Plus, she's up there with the best. Syndra has basically everything a good player needs to carry: wave clear, poke, burst around her level 6 and 9 power spikes, massive AoE CC to set up ganks and carry fights, and she scales well too. She truly shines in the mid game, and with there being so many constant team fights these days around the many objectives you need to fight over, she's just such a great option to main in the mid lane. Into the bot lane next then, and let's take a look at the best AD carries you can play at every rank. However, the first pick in bronze and silver is actually AP. One that doesn't really require much attack moving and just a ton of bombs instead. It's Ziggs, with a 52.1% win rate in bronze and 52.3% in silver. Ziggs is a super safe, scaling, wave clear, bursty farming beast really, and you can't really go wrong with it. He has the highest win rate for any pick in the bot lane at these ranks, and a decent amount of games played too. So push, poke, farm up, spam your bombs, and make your mark. Into gold then, and here we have Miss Fortune with a 51.8% win rate. Miss Fortune has always been a popular pick for the average player, and it's again fairly simple because even if you don't really achieve that much, all you need is one good moment with a big ultimate in a big team fight to really have an impact. Now, I'm not saying that Miss Fortune isn't more than just an ultimate, as she can snowball super hard in lanes and carry hard too, especially in duo queue. But with the gold Fiesta gameplay, just play around your ultimate's cooldown and you'll see great results. In Plat, it's actually Vayne who comes out on top with a 53% win rate here. Now, Vayne is typically associated with higher mechanically gifted players, but actually, it's likely the fact that Vayne is over-respected and under-punished in this rank, to the point where once she gets those items, she can just roll over lobbies. The hardest part about maining Vayne is the early game and the amount of difficult matchups she has, but if every game you're getting through the lane phase without any trouble, you'll be carrying teamfights before you know it. In Emerald, we have one of the strongest AD carries in the game as of late, Ashe, who has a 53% win rate across all regions recently. To be honest, Ashe is just in a really good spot right now and offers more than enough to carry. She's a bit of a bully in lane, works with a bunch of different support picks, scales really well, kites like a beast, and even if she gets a bit behind, still has value to bring to comps. Emerald is where players tend to really start learning how to kite and attack move properly, and Ashe is the perfect pick to use this to your advantage. In Diamond, it's Jinx who proves on top here with a 52.8% win rate. Jinx has been one of the most consistent AD carries all year really, and it doesn't look like this is going to slow down soon. She's a bit vulnerable early game, but all it takes is one fight with a few resets for her to show why she's always worth thinking about. A good Jinx player who gets fed is never fun to play against. And in Diamond, there's plenty of good Jinxes. Then finally for Master Plus, we have Kai'Sa with a 53% win rate. Kai'Sa is one of the most versatile AD carries in the game and one of the most consistent picks you can play into any draft. That's one of the main reasons why she's so popular in high elo, because a champion's ability to be blind picked is one of the most desirable traits they can possess. Matchups are a huge thing in modern League of Legends and have been for quite a few years now, so a flexible AD carry like Kai'Sa who works into so many lanes and with and against so many supports and carries is just so ideal. Plus, when you factor in her itemization options too, depending on the game and what you and your team needs, getting good at Kai'Sa will give you a solid pick to play every game. Finally, let's have a look at supports then, and up first we have Brand with a 53.2% win rate in silver and 52.5% in bronze. This just goes to show how strong a Pokemage can be in the bot lane when your enemies don't actually know how to dodge. Brand support is just not really played very much at higher ranks, but in bronze and silver he's one of the best picks you can play. He's a lot of fun to play and you can carry super hard too, as you basically just turn into another AP carry if you get ahead during the lane phase. So spam those spells and enjoy watching your enemies burn into crispy little piles of LP. For gold, we have Sona with a 52.6% win rate. Now Sona is just undeniably impactful just by existing. So many games you can see a bad Pyke or bad Thresh just whiff everything and do nothing. But with Sona, you don't really have anything to miss. And all you have to do is not int, and you'll be super valuable to your AD carry and your team. She brings sustain, scaling, utility, and AoE crowd control, and in gold with so many ARAMs and extended teamfights happening from the 15-minute mark until the end of the game, she'll bring so much to your team comp. For Plats, we've got Milio with a 53.3% win rate. Milio really has been shining recently, and he's pretty easy to play, but his utility is so strong. He makes all the popular AD carries in Plat just better and much harder to punish, and enemy players here just don't respect what he brings in his kit. Milio is one of those picks that can turn any doomed fight into a win, so when your enemies overcommit, this is when he's at his best. In Emerald, we have the solo queue queen in Janna with a 52.4% win rate. Janna has been one of the most consistent picks to play in ranked for so many years now, and around Emerald seems to be where she's at her best. She can chill in lane in games where she needs to, like when she's partnered up with an unstable racist Draven, or she can roam like a psycho and actually carry the map pretty hard instead. She can turn any team fight with a few clutch tornadoes, and her ultimate can outplay fights and dives more often than not. In Diamond, we have Nami with a 52.1% win rate, and she's been one of the best support picks in the game all season. Patches come and go, but Nami still stays on top, and that's been the theme of this year. And we could have put Nami for many of the ranks in this video, but in Diamond she is very popular and super successful. From big bubbles, well-timed waves, or just boosting and buffing up her carries, she's fun, easy to play, and with good positioning and good timings can go from decent to delicious. Finally, for Master Tier and above, you know it's gonna have to be Bard, with a 53.3% win rate. A good Bard is just so much fun to watch, with big clutch stuns in the lane phase, roaming and creative plays with big ults and magical tunnels full of LP, and so many ways to impact games rather than just AFKing in the lane phase and hoping for the best. High elo Bard players have been abusing his kit for many years now, and when he's as strong as he has been recently, there's just simply no better option to carry with, but also no other champion can compare to how fun this chimey chap can be. Well, there you have it guys, that's some of the best champions you can play in every rank and every role to end the season 2025 on a high. Don't forget to head to mobalytics.gg to see builds and runes and guides for every single champion, and we'll see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching, and as always guys, good luck and take care.